Choosing a city can be a tedious and long process, especially if you have never been to that place and you're choosing it remotely. Believe me, I hear you. I've been in the same situation 2 years ago when my husband and I had to choose a city to live in America. And we eventually moved to a place neither of us had ever been to before. That's why, knowing how uncertain it can get, I decided to make an overview of 5 popular Spanish cities with a list of pros and cons that hopefully can help you with your decision. Stay till the end of this video, as I will also talk about 3 other small cities that can be a great alternative for your relocation if you're not a fan of big hustling cities or you're just looking to save a buck. That being said, let's go! Catalonia is a very rich and beautiful region. From one side you have the Pyrenees mountains and from the other the Mediterranean Sea. Whether you want to spend the day at the beach or go hiking, both are a walk or a short train ride away. Barcelona is home to many startups like Glovo, Red Points, Travel Perks, and Wallapop, to name a few. This means there are a lot of opportunities for expats, as these startups are usually looking for professionals with an international background. Also, you'll never get bored, as the city hosts international concerts and events all year around. Barcelona has a diverse and welcoming expat community. With a large number of international residents, it is easy to make friends and feel at home in this city. Additionally, some locals will speak English, so you won't feel completely isolated and not understood. All the major luxury brands are represented here, and there are thousands of shops, restaurants and bars. Lots of art galleries and famous architecture to check out. You probably have heard about Gaudí and his masterpieces that are all around Barcelona. Aside from the outdoor adventurous activities, Barcelona also has a rich cuisine and nightlife scene. The weather in Barcelona is mostly mild. Summers are hot and humid. Barcelona has a beach that makes it ideal to enjoy the climate to the fullest. The cost of rent in Barcelona has been rising like crazy. Finding affordable housing in a safe and central location can be quite challenging. Renting in Barcelona has become less affordable over the past couple of years. For renting one-bedroom apartment in the city center, you can spend between 1,200 and 1,600 euros. Due to the vast amount of tourists that come to Barcelona each year, the city has earned itself the title pickpocket capital of the world. It can get overcrowded and expensive during peak seasons. This can also lead to issues such as pickpocketing and scams, which expats should be aware of. A vocal minority wishes to declare independence from Spain. This is creating a great deal of political uncertainty. Spanish and Catalan are 2 official languages, and Catalan people are very proud about their region. I would say they act even snobby sometimes. To be accepted here, you must speak Catalan. It is true, I experienced it by myself when I studied near Barcelona. I actually felt like a black sheep because I couldn't understand Catalan, even if they were saying, "Oh, Catalan is very similar to Spanish." No, it's not. And especially if you're a foreigner and not a Spaniard, definitely take this into account. Spanish is also required if you wish to communicate with everyone. Still a relatively cheap cost of living to live in, with all the perks of a city life, with lots of museums, cultural events, parks, zoo, aquarium and gardens. It's a safe city with a little petty crime. Valencia is the perfect size for a city. It's comfortable to commute. Not too big that gets overcrowded and not too small that gets quiet. Comparing to Barcelona and Andalusia is less touristy and lets you to discover its beauty at your own pace. Valencia has a great public transport and an international airport. The city is incredibly set up for cycling and the city itself is flat. The general city planning and infrastructure in Valencia seems pretty amazing. A lot of activities for kids, a lot of parks, greenery and cultural places. I believe it's the most pleasant city to raise a family. Valencia has hot, humid weather with more than 300 sunny days, and it lays right near the coast. Abundance of cucarachas, the giant ones, and if you live in Valencia, sooner or later you will come in contact with them. Here is actually a video of mine of a cockroach that was on the ground floor of our building. It was so big that you could spot it from the space. Valencia holds the biggest festival in March, Las Fallas. For a tourist or an expat who sees that celebration for the first time, it will be a great experience and a memory for the whole life. But after a year, it really gets on your nerve. The constant noise of the firecrackers disrupts your peace for more than a week. The city gets very noisy, the streets are dirty, and you have weeks of burnt smell in the air as they burn the wooden constructions at the end of the festival. Rarely, fireworks can cause a fire on the balconies of the apartments that are located close to the city center. My advice: choose carefully where to live and have a fire extinguisher in your apartment. But seriously, if you're not a fan of massive, noisy festivals, just take a vacation and leave the city. A lot of jobs that are in need are in manual labor, building constructions, port, or in tourism. Traffic is awful. Everybody drives like it's the last day on earth. Nobody respects parking. Cars have a lot of scratches, but locals even don't pay attention to that and do not bother. Not an easy access to the sea if you don't live right next to the beach. The commute can get up to 40-50 minutes. Madrid is Spain's biggest economic hub. It hosts 40% of international businesses in the country and carries out 72% of all banking activities. Madrid is the best city to look for a job. Location is convenient for traveling across Europe and Spain. It is easy to find flights all over Europe and the rest of the world for that matter, at a reasonable price. Most European countries are only 2-3 hours away by flight. Madrid has frequently been ranked as one of the best study destinations in Europe thanks to its high-ranking universities, great student life, and wild party scene. In fact, of all Spanish cities, Madrid has the most international students. Living in Madrid is both enjoying parts of history and modernity. It has a lot of great parks, palaces, museums, and big squares. Streets and roads are mostly wide, which makes it easier to drive and park your car. Madrid is a safe city with a lot of police cars at every corner. Streets also look sleek and clean in most of the neighborhoods. Madrid isn't really close at all to any beaches. This can be either a pro or a con depending on the type of person you are. But Madrid is a noisy, hustle and bustle metropolitan city. Population in Madrid city is more than 3 million, so it can easily take you more than an hour of your time to get somewhere if you're not living and working in the city center. Like in any big city, traffic and overpopulation make air pollution worse. Plus, lots of people smoke cigarettes in Madrid. Madrid ranks as the 75th most polluted regional capital city out of 85 measured global capitals. Living in Madrid city center is relatively expensive. Rent for one-bedroom apartment is between 1,300–1,600 euros. That doesn't mean there are no alternatives. The further out of the city you get, the more affordable it gets. But then you need to think about transportation or having a car, as Madrid is a very big city and traffic jams can often get bad. It gets very hot during the months of July and August. You don't get any fresh breeze as it is surrounded by hills. The lack of coastline and a super dry climate make summers in Madrid unbearable. Locals even say 9 meses de invierno y 3 del infierno, which translates to 9 months of winter and 3 months of hell. Basque cuisine is one of the finest in Spain. Bilbao's quality of life is enhanced by its excellent food and its famous pinches. 3 out of top 15 restaurants in the world are located here in a 40-kilometer radius. Bilbao's cuisine differs from the rest of Spain, has a wider variety, and is not the deep-fried. Modern, urban, lush green city with beautiful nature. It's close to the coast and to mountains. Parks and green spaces are abundant, providing the perfect environment for children to play and grow. In Bilbao, almost everything is within walking distance of 20 minutes. The Basque Country has the lowest unemployment rate of all the Spain and the highest average salary in Spain. It is a heavily industrialized region, especially Biscay, where you can find employment in many sectors. Although the climate is generally mild, rainfall is constant in the region, affecting the mood of those who prefer a drier, sunnier climate. Many locals speak Spanish and Basque, and that can be a challenge for non-Spanish speakers, as this region historically tended always to be independent from the rest of Spain. Nationalistic feelings are in the air, so it's a good idea to keep politics off the agenda. You can receive an unfriendly feedback from some people if you call Bilbao a Spanish city. Bilbao is somewhat a small city, so there is not much to do there, and local people are different from the rest of the Spain. They tend to be more reserved and frankly quieter. Malaga sunny 320 days per year. Malaga has mild to warm weather in winter, but longer days too. It doesn't get dark until 6:30 p.m. in the winter, allowing you to do many things after work. The city stretches along the coast between the sea and mountains. Easy access to all the beautiful cities and towns of Andalusia. Malaga is cosmopolitan and has a rich culture. There are a lot of attractions and beautiful monuments in a Moorish style. A lot of places to travel and explore even just with regional trains. There are many expats in Malaga and Costa del Sol, so it won't be difficult to make friends at the beginning. Wander a block or two and you encounter ugly 1970s style apartment buildings that look old, unpleasant and poor. The sector in which you are likely to find a job is tourism and hospitality, which is very strong during the summer months and special dates like Christmas and Easter. However, it isn't as popular in winter. This means that many hospitality jobs are seasonal, even more if you work in the Costa del Sol rather than Malaga city. Most houses aren't prepared for cold temperatures, so there is no heating, and some houses are very cold. They're great during the summertime because you won't need to use the air conditioning or fan so much, but they aren't good for the few cold days in the winter. It is a popular tourist destination. This can have some negative effects on residents: crowded streets, noise, and higher prices in tourist areas. While choosing a city to move to or live for some time, don't forget to consider small cities and towns that can eventually surprise you and make you fall in love with them. But before we start with the next 3 cities, I would like to note that I won't be emphasizing on the lack of job market or the importance of speaking Spanish. I think it's pretty obvious if you want to enjoy very low cost of living in a comfortable town surrounded by stunning nature, you need to have some kind of remote job to sustain yourself and to know at least basic conversational Spanish, as Spaniards do not speak English in further towns and cities. And now, let's dive into 3 other Spanish cities that are small but with lots to offer. At some point we were really considering moving to this city as we wanted to have higher quality of life than in America, but with a very low cost of living. I believe this place is a gem if you're looking for a quite peaceful lifestyle. Logroño is very affordable compared to major cities in Spain. You can really live below your means if you have a remote job and save a lot for travels. 1-bedroom apartment rent is around 500–600 euros per month. Here is an example of 1-bedroom apartment for 600 euros. Walk anywhere in just 20 minutes. Logroño is the capital of La Rioja, a region that's home to over 500 wineries and many vineyards. Enjoy a sip of delicious wine while grabbing a bite at a tapas place in the city center. If you want to travel, you'll need a car. There are not many train connections, and the closest international airport is only in Madrid, which is 3.5 hours away. Summers are warm, dry, and mostly clear, and the winters are very cold, rainy, and partly cloudy. While the city does have a good selection of bars and restaurants, there are limited choices when it comes to other forms of entertainment such as theaters, museums, or shopping centers. Downside to the cost of living in Logroño is the price of utilities, which can be higher than in other areas of Spain. It is an affordable place to live comparing to Valencia, but rent is pretty high comparing to other small towns. For example, a one-bedroom apartment in the city center can range from 600 to 900 euros per month. Alicante is known for its strong sense of community, making it easy to feel like you belong. Whether you're attending a local festival, exploring the markets, or simply walking around the city, you may find that the friendly locals are always ready to strike up a conversation and make you feel at home. When looking at places to live, some expats rent, but mostly buy property, because Alicante's market still provides value for money, and it is a perfect place to invest into a tourist property and to rent it later. When living in Alicante, you remain well connected with the rest of the world. Alicante's airport is Spain's 5th largest. Summers can get hot and humid. Downside to the sunny climate in Alicante is the lack of rainfall. This can lead to water shortages in drier years and can also impact local agriculture. The strong winds, known as the Levante, can occasionally bring rough weather to the area, with high winds and choppy seas disrupting outdoor activities. Has a popularity of being not a clean city. Dog owners tend not to clean after their dogs, and you can encounter quite a few homeless people on the streets. Many apartments are constructions from the 50s, 70s. They are dark, damp, with little windows facing the inside patios, tiled floors, and thin walls that give a feeling that all neighbors are living with you in the same apartment. Cordoba has a small town feel, and it has bohemian, hippie vibes with convenience to city life and nature. It's within 1 hour of a major airport. It has nearby mountains, national parks, but the sea will be further away. Ideal destination for outdoor activities like mountain biking, climbing, and hiking. The rent cost of one-bedroom apartment in the city center is around 500–600 euros. Cordoba's rich cultural heritage immerses everybody into Spanish traditions, such as flamenco dancing, Easter processions, and the lively Feria de Cordoba. Cordoba is accessible to other places for weekend explorations, like castles, hidden Andalusian villages, beaches, and other bigger cities. The city can be quite crowded during peak tourist season, making it difficult to find a quiet place to relax. It is very, very hot. During the summer, the heat is unbearable. AC is a must. A very laid-back lifestyle and mañana attitude, meaning that anything can wait till tomorrow. Limited internet availability in public places like cafes and restaurants, and no work in cafe culture. It is home to mostly Spanish inhabitants, and less than 5% of the population are expats. I tried to cover a lot of aspects about each place in this video, however, there is just so much to talk about that it would take me hours to film this video. But in the future, I plan to visit these places and document the real life so that I can share it with you. I really hope this video somehow helped you to get a clearer view on the cities and narrowed down the options for the right place to live in. Remember, there is no perfect city. Each of them will have its own pros and cons. My advice is to start with a medium-sized city that has a good railway and airport infrastructure so that you won't feel disconnected and you can travel and explore other places. Also start with a cheap rent, if you don't have a million in your pocket, of course. Saving extra money will give you a safety pillow and take stress out of your shoulders, and will help you relax and live a laid-back lifestyle, which so many Spaniards do. Please let me know in the comments which is your favorite city in Spain and why do you like it? I've also made a detailed video about Valencia, so if you're interested, go here to check it out. And I see you next time. Hasta pronto!